Hi, I'm Pastor Kurt, and this is your 5-minute Bible study. Today, we're going to be looking at Psalm 22. Now, Psalm 22 is one of the lament psalms in the book of Psalms. So there's 150 psalms total in the book. And usually they can be grouped into two categories, psalms of lament and psalms of praise. Psalm 22 is a psalm of lament. And it begins with a very famous line for Christians. My God, why have you forsaken me? Christians know that line as one of the lines that Jesus said on the cross while he was dying. That is Psalm 22, verse 1 that he was saying. So when people heard Jesus say that line, they would have thought about this psalm. And as we read this psalm, we read about somebody who's undergoing incredible suffering. They're in anguish, they're in pain, and we can see how that fits with what Jesus was going through. But when we look at just the psalm itself, something interesting happens. And it happens here and in many of the psalms of lament. It starts off with this cry for help, this expression of pain, but then by the end of it, the person is singing praise to God. So there's this shift partway through the psalm from crying out for help to suddenly praising God. In Psalm 22, you can see that shift happen right in the middle of verse 21. So from the beginning of the psalm through the first part of verse 21, you hear all of this pain and anguish and sorrow. But then from the second half of 21 through the end, you hear this person praising God. And I think that's really cool that these psalms of lament shift like that. Because quite often, that's our experience too. Think about, for example, if you've been in a time of great pain, a time when you've cried out to God for help. And think about how God helped you. After God helped you in that moment, or in that experience, or in that situation, did you sing your praise to God afterwards? Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we kind of take advantage of the fact that God helps us. We cry out for help, God helps us, and then when we're through whatever that painful situation was, we don't even bother to say thank you to God. Let's take a cue from the psalmist here. And when we're through that painful experience, we sing our praise to God. We can't help but celebrate that God has helped us through this. One way that we celebrate is by singing. The Psalms were meant to be sung. We can think of the book of Psalms almost as like a mini hymn book in the Bible. Think about songs that you know. Here, it's like we have the lyrics, but no music. Plenty of Christians, since the time of the early church, have set the Psalms to music because they are meant to be sung. So it's really fun to hear these songs set to music so that you can actually sing them. Some congregations on Sunday morning will actually sing the psalm. Some congregations have the lector read one verse and the congregation read another verse, and they go back and forth that way. But they are meant to be sung. These are songs. Think about what causes you to sing. Or think about how music stirs you. Sometimes you sing because you're sad. Think about singing the blues. Sometimes you sing when you're happy and you're joyful. The book of Psalms contains a wide range of human emotion. Whatever you're going through, you can probably find some example in the Psalms to connect with that. And sometimes when you're going through great pain and sorrow and anguish, and you're not sure what to pray, going to the book of Psalms is a great way to help you find the words to express what you're going through. Even if you can't express it in your own words, pray the Psalms. That's part of the reason they're there, is for us today to continue to pray these things. And hopefully, when you experience your time of lament and suffering and pain, then you can then celebrate how God has seen you through. There's your 5-minute Bible study for today. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.